A lot has changed since 2017. Republicans had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They decided to do one noble thing: to cut taxes, mostly for the wealthiest people in the country and America's biggest corporations, and they did this for the little guy.
A vote to cut taxes is a vote to put America first again. We want to do that. We want to put America first again. If we do this, then America will win again like never, ever before.
There were some tax cuts for the middle class and the wealthy, but those are expiring in 2025. But the tax cuts for corporate profits, those were permanent. And it's estimated that this loss in revenue for the US government is $2 trillion. So all those guys that are really mad about the national deficit, I wonder why they don't talk about this.
Our country is being destroyed by stupid people, by very stupid people.
You once said that using the debt ceiling as a negotiating wedge just could not happen. You said that when you were in the Oval Office.
That's when I was president.
So why is it different now that you're out of office?
Because now I'm not president.
For some of America's biggest companies, the tax cuts weren't enough. They'd rather avoid paying them altogether. Boeing had $67 billion in revenue, billion with a B, and a stock market value of $120 billion. But they didn't pay any federal income taxes between 2019 and 2022. They got refunds, actually. Boeing instead sent $7.3 billion to stockholders through a series of stock buybacks and in the form of dividends. Stock buybacks are a surprisingly legal practice where a company takes their revenue to purchase their own stock, which increases a metric that's very important for Wall Street called earnings per share. By reducing the amount of stocks available on the market, it makes it seem like there's more stocks for the revenue that the company has, which increases the value of the stock for existing shareholders. So you can only imagine why a company would decide to do this. Top executives and board members got $61 million. Boeing got over $120 billion in contracts over a 5-year span. So all of those huge defense spending bills and additional aid to Israel and Ukraine, those dollars go to military contractors like Boeing. Let's talk about what I like to call the American money cycle. Lobbyists give money to members of Congress. Congress passes legislation, giving most of the money in the budget to defense contractors. Defense contractors overcharge for their weapons, and they give their profit to stockholders and executives who sometimes are politicians and members of Congress. Is it a non-profit if all of the profit is just given away to the owners in the form of bonuses and stock buybacks? The latest analysis of Who Owns America shows the wealthiest 10% own 93% of all stock. In 2015, a review by Army negotiators discovered Lockheed Martin and its subcontractor, Boeing, were overcharging the Pentagon and U.S. allies by hundreds of millions of dollars. Big Pharma does this on a regular basis. There was a hearing in Congress where drug company executives testified that on some medications, they make more revenue from the United States than the rest of the world combined. Bernie Sanders questioned the CEO of Bristol Myers Squibb on the price of Eliquis.
It costs just $18 to manufacture a year's supply of Eliquis. $7,100, what we pay $1,800 to manufacture. Is it true that the same exact drug, Eliquis, can be purchased in Canada for $900 a year?
Senator, that's roughly correct.
Let me ask you this. Even at 13% of the cost in the United States, does Bristol Myers make a profit selling Eliquis for $900 a year in Canada?
Senator, we do make a profit.
All right, so you're selling the product for 13% of what in Canada, of what we pay in the United States, and obviously you sell it there because you make money. So, Mr. Berner, will you commit today that Bristol Myers Squibb will reduce the list price of Eliquis in the United States to the price that you charge in Canada where you make a profit?
Senator, we can't make that commitment.
I get it. On the one hand, people need this drug to live, but on the other hand, rich guys really like money.
The list price of Keytruda is $191,000 a year in the United States.
That is close to being true, yes.
Thank you. Is it true that that same exact drug can be purchased in Canada for $112,000 a year and $44,000 a year in Japan?
Generally, yes.
Does your company, does Merck make a profit selling Keytruda in Japan?
We do.
Will you commit to lowering the price of Keytruda in the United States to the price of Japan?
Well, Senator, I think
I'm doing this show on my 5th day in a row without my ADHD medication. I want you to watch this video of Jordan Steele John. He's a senator in Australia.
Imagine if my wheelchair was the product of a pill I took and that pill was not available due to a supply chain issue in the United States. And while I couldn't get it, I had to crawl around on the floor. And now I'm being told that I wasn't be able to get my wheelchair pill until April. That is the situation that so many ADHDers are in.
I literally drank a can of soda while on FaceTime with my friend and then didn't remember drinking it and searched my apartment for 10 minutes to find out where I put my soda down.
This medication is their form of assistive technology.
I need my assistive technology, and our healthcare system and pharmaceutical industry wants me to be searching for my soda instead of making videos about how corrupt they are. That's really messed up.